What's up, Culture Family? It's your boy Zach here for another brand episode of The Breakdown. And today's film is Clockers. Directed by Spike Lee, it stars Mekhi Phifer, Harvey Keitel, Delroy Lindo, John Turturro, Thomas Jefferson Byrd, Keith David, excuse me, Isaiah Washington, Paul Calderon, Regina Taylor, and Michael Imperiale. Obviously, a great cast. You you got Harvey Keitel, John Turturro, Delroy Lindo, Kai Pfeiffer. You got all these great actors that have all done such amazing films. Harvey Keitel and John Turturro, they play homicide detectives in this film, and they're investigating Mekhi Phifer's character, whose name is Strike in the movie, for the murder of another rival drug dealer that his boss, Delroy Lindo, played by Delroy Lindo, ordered. And he let his brother, Isaiah Washington, kind of like take the fall for it. Allegedly, that's what happened. We never really find out exactly like who killed the dude in the movie. Isaiah Washington said it was self-defense, and he was walking home and he jumped out of nowhere and then he shot him. He was drunk and this and that. And we never really find out exactly who did it. His brother just takes the rap. But it's a great film. It's basically revolves around Strike. He's a clocker, which a clocker is they call someone that hustles around the clock, making money, trapping on the block, slinging dope, and he ends up his boss Delroy Lindo, the dude that he works for, basically says I want that motherfucker gone, and he wants him to do it. But we never really find out if Strike actually is the one that kills him. We kind of believe that he is the one that killed the dude. I forgot his name. And he let his brother Isaiah Washington take the fall because he's a working class guy. He's got 2 kids. He's got a family. He's never been in trouble before. He has no record, and they feel like they'll believe the self-defense thing because he's never been in trouble before, and that they'll let him go. So, but Harvey Keitel is not convinced. John Turturro, he's they're partners in the movie. John Turturro, the one cop, he's convinced, like, all right, we got the dude. He says it was self-defense. Let's let it go. You know what I'm saying? But Harvey Keitel's like, nah, fuck that shit. That nigga, he is suspect. He lying. He's full of shit. He's a professional con artist. I know there's more to this story. And basically, Delroy Lindo is worried that Mekhi Phifer is gonna snitch on him. And he's keeps on. He has like this stomach thing throughout the movie because he keeps drinking this chocolate milk, these moo shit, fucking up his stomach and everything. And he's just constantly talking to the police, trying to feed them bullshit, and they don't really believe him. And then you got Keith David. He's like the neighborhood cop in like the project area. First, he's trying to help Strike. Then he just wants Strike to leave this little boy named Tyrone alone. He's kind of school Tyrone. He's like he's schooling him in the game. He's showing him how to cut up coke and teaching him about how much money he gets and his boss gets and stuff like that. And telling him, I never want to catch you doing this shit. We hustlers, we real niggas. What I'm saying? This is what we do to get our money. This is how we get ahead. All this shit. And yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, it has a great cast and absolutely riveting opening titles. The opening titles are so poignant and so just, they really grab you and catch you. And like, in the opening titles, they show all these different black men that had got shot. They show all these different black men that had gotten shot. And I guess they look like real photos. And they look like real crime scene photos of all these niggas, I guess, on the street. I guess they were street dudes or dope dealers, whatever, I don't know. But it shows all these different photos of them with headshot wounds and laid on the street, blood everywhere. The opening titles are just really raw, and it really sets you up for kind of the type of world that you're gonna be in this movie. And yeah, it was really riveting. It really grabs your attention, and it sets you up for the film. It really grabbed my attention at the beginning. It really made me really like pay attention and zero in more on this. But yeah, a great New York movie, great New York set, characters, vibe, feeling. I've been to New York before for my 21st birthday. I love New York City. I love the energy of it. You know, it's just the city that never sleeps, for real, for real. You know, it's just always on the go. Always there's something to always do, always see. You know, I can't wait to go back one day. I love the city, and it was just you got so much movie and theater culture there, and yeah. I mean, all these guys are pretty much named. Almost all of them are New York actors, and they killed it. They really understand this world, this city, and what it means to live in this city and be a part of this. So they really, really did a great job of portraying these specific type of New York characters on screen because obviously they come from this world, and they just did an amazing job. Spike Lee, he did a really great job directing this story and telling it. There's an interesting use of color in it. There's an interesting use of the different shots like close-ups and stills and even like the music and the way like towards the end when he is showing when Strike keeps changing his story, he's being intimidated by the police and he keeps on changing his story up, and then we get the different perspectives of who might have killed oh boy, I can't believe I can't remember his name, but we get the different perspective of who might have killed old boy, and it shows Stripe doing it, shows his brother doing it, it shows one of his boys in the crew doing it as Stripe keeps on changing up his story and everything like that, and it was just really, really riveting. I think that this is one of his better films post Malcolm X. I would say my favorite Spike Lee movies after Malcolm X is obviously all those movies leading up to Malcolm X are classic, but and Do the Right Thing is my favorite movie ever, which we will do on this channel at some point. But my favorite Spike Lee movies are Do the Right Thing, He Got Game, and honestly, I would say Clockers. Those are my three. Do the Right Thing and He Got Game, though. Those two, man, right there. Those are my favorite. I love those two films. And Mekhi Phifer, he killed it. He killed it in his first role, his first film role. This was his film role right here, and he he did this movie and Tuskegee Airmen in the same year. The same year. Tuskegee Airmen, if nobody's ever seen it, is this great movie that came on HBO, TV movie about the Tuskegee Airmen. That if you've never seen it, it's really, really good. It has Cuba Gooding Jr., Lawrence Fishburne. It's a really, really, really dope, great movie that I highly recommend that you watch. I loved it. And yeah, he did this in Tuskegee Airmen in the same year. In the same year, he did this in Tuskegee Airmen. And he also did 8 Mile, and I'm sorry, y'all, I lost my train of thought. I was listening to something out there. But yeah, he did 8 Mile and Paid in Full, both also in 2002. So shout out to Mekhi Phifer. Last few points. A film about a tale of two brothers. I love it. This movie, and also To the Mac, Boys in the Hood. Movies about that show two brothers come from the same house, but they take different roads in life. So obviously in the Mac, his brother was like, a black revolutionary who also, dibbled and dabbled in, drug dealing. And then, he, Goldie, he was a pimp, became a vicious, ruthless pimp. Then you got this movie, Strike. He's a dope dealer. His brother, he was like a really working class stiff, taking care of his kids and his family, handling his business. And then you have also Two Boys in the Hood. You got Ricky, who's got a baby. He wants to go to college and play football. And Dope Boy, he's, trapping and slinging dope. And, his mother really kind of corrupted him and ruined him. She was really a bad mother towards him. I ain't gonna lie to you in that movie. And the poster, Strike, he gets punked the whole film. That's the only thing that kind of bothered me. Strike got punked by the police. He got punked by his boys. He got punked by, you know, this woman who's like, man, stay the fuck away from my son. The little shorty, the little homie that he was trying to school in the game. He got punked by her. He got punked. You know, his mama throws the bail money at him at the end. Like, you know, everybody's just, you know, just bullying the fuck out of Strike throughout this whole movie. It's just crazy. It's crazy, bro. And the poster is an homage to Otto Preminger's 1959 film Anatomy of a Murder. If you look at the two posters, they're extremely similar. Only the difference is in the Clockers poster, the guy on the ground, he's got like a hat, and you can see like he's got like a baseball cap on, which is a representation of, you know, the black man, the black males in these movies. And Saul Bass, who was the designer of the original poster, you know, didn't look at it as an homage. He thought it was a ripoff. But, you know, I thought it was a pretty clever homage. I liked it. I didn't see nothing wrong with it. And, you know, obviously the film is based on the novel Clockers by Richard Price, which came out in 1992. So, that was Clockers. As I said, absolutely loved it. Spike Lee's directing was just really great in it. Great use of cinematography and just tone and music and shots. And a really great cast. I highly recommend that you watch Clockers. And as always, I love y'all. And love, peace, and soul.